As the school year rapidly comes to a close, Attleboro High School has announced the top 2 academic students for the class of 2014. Students, teachers, and families gathered in the principal's lobby last week for the annual Sal Ceremony. Student Brandon Clark was awarded the honor of Valedictorian, and top athlete Beth Clifton was awarded the title of Salutatorian. Both students were awarded with a plaque and a place on the high school's Wall of Honor.
It's difficult not to be repetitive, but I have a few other nuggets to share with you about Brandon and Beth. But first, I think it's interesting to point out how eerily similar they are to one another. Remember, it's a pesky 11 100ths of a point that separates the fact that they are number 1 and number 2 in their class. Brandon and Beth have the same initials, BC. They are next to one another in the class alphabetically. They both love and excel at sports. Another interesting commonality is that they were not too keen at having to dress up for all the award celebrations that they have been going to. They both love engineering because it's the best of both worlds. It perfectly balances creativity with science and technology.
It's a great feeling overall just to know, like, you put so much effort into something and then see what happens when it finally pays off. Everybody here just puts so much passion into the kids instead of themselves being good on a resume, good teachers, good faculty. They really care about seeing what their students can accomplish, and they really helped me find my passions and what I really wanted to work hard on, and that's what brought me to where I am today. The programs here at Attleboro High School are really conducive to kids who want to be at that high level. They have so many AP classes. They give you a ton of flexibility for what you want to take. And for me, it wasn't always the passion of just wanting to be great. I feel like that's a little bit more of just a introspective, selfish type of thing, but it was more of just the passion to do what I love to do and satisfy my love for learning, basically. And so I did that by taking the hardest classes available to make sure I keep myself grounded and focused on being able to learn what I can to succeed in the future. I put in my deposit at WPI and I got a scholarship there, so I'm really excited. And I'll be going there with a great friend of mine from Attleboro High School who's going for ROTC, and I'll probably double major considering the amount of AP credits I got here. I'll major in environmental engineering and biotechnology. I'm doing a project in one of my classes now about the scientific implications of being able to help world hunger, and that is something that I would like to enact new technologies for in the future, get involved with maybe humanitarian organizations to help poorer countries.
I'm pretty excited, it's quite the accomplishment. I feel really honored, that my hard work has paid off. Also, I was a little nervous having to speak today, but I got that out of the way, and I'm just really honored, and I feel very accomplished that my 4 years of hard work has paid off. And I don't think there's really one thing that I did. It was just always making sure I'd get the work done and working hard. I wouldn't be able to point to one thing. A lot of time management skills and just staying dedicated. I never really actually had a goal of this in my mind. It was kind of just always secondary, and really it was more about learning and worrying about, like Brendan mentioned earlier, about finding your passions, and I'm just very passionate about learning, and it was more that I just wanted to do it, not that I was working just to work. Earlier, I think my parents, they've just always supported me in everything I've done. They've set really quite a great example for me. I've always looked up to them, and my brother as well. And he's been very good. I mean, he's 2 years older than me, so he went through all the same stuff I'm going through. So he was always there to help me out if I had questions on calculus, because he'd already taken the class, or physics. And so, like, educationally, he would help, and then also just very supportive and helping me stay focused and calm and not worrying about little things. I am very science-minded, but I've always loved English and history and the arts, and I felt that Brown would give me that balance. I looked at more technical schools, but I felt very narrowed and too sciencey. Brown would give me a much broader education where I could not just focus on engineering, but I could also pursue other passions that I have. I'm studying engineering, so I'm hoping that I'll stay with that and be an engineer. A few years ago, or I guess now, it's like 6 years ago, I went to space camp, and ever since that I've always sort of had a fascination with planes, so that's what I want to do with engineering. I'm hoping I can be an engineer, maybe design planes, and I don't know if I'll go Army or what, but I would love to do that.